Morning all, and welcome to day 2. I'm out for a quick stroll before breakfast and also before I don the motorcycle gear for the day. I'm in my happy place because I'm in the west of Ireland. I'm in amongst the yellow gorse and I'm about to get on 2 wheels for the day. Nevertheless, there's always a little bit of anxiety which creeps in at this stage because I never know what the day might unearth really. So fancy coming with me? We'll explore together. Incidentally, if you spot anything within my footage, which I'm just sort of riding obliviously past, and you think it was a scene from the Banshees of Inisherin, let me know in the comments. I have to say Ackle's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I presume the mountains way over there in the distance, I presume they're still part of Ackle. Or maybe that's the sea cliffs that I referred to earlier on, the 3rd highest in Europe. I'd say that could definitely be them. You know, the west coast of Ireland really did an amazing thing with this Wild Atlantic Way. You know, the marketing genius behind that deserves medal after medal. I'm sure they have received plenty of accolades because I know it's a mecca for tourists over the summer. Not so much so with bikers though. I'm always harping on that these are some of the best roads I've ever ridden over in the west of Ireland. And well, as today, look, I'm the only person here. It's incredible. Maybe I shouldn't even put this video out. Keep all this to myself. Sale. Now you could make something out of that, couldn't you? It was meant to be, folks. I was meant to see that property, and I was meant to put the lotto numbers on tonight and win a few million. Now that really looks like a scene out of Banshees of Inisherin. I wonder if it featured. Alrighty. Let's have a little look here, see what we've got. Foreign registrations. Looks like they're flying model aeroplanes. A bit windy for that, is it not? Oh man. Look at this. Series head on, Dave, and show a bit of respect here because I think I know what this is about. Okay, we'll pull up and I'll tell you about it.
Nestled at the base of Sleevemore Mountain, this deserted village is a raw reminder of what happened in the potato famine years back in 1845. Over 1 million people perished in Ireland, and places like Ackle took the brunt as the land wasn't fit to grow much else apart from potatoes. Before the famine hit, this village, which consisted of up to 100 properties, was called a booley village. Booleying is a term which describes the occupiers moving within the seasons to obtain the best land to graze cattle, as they did on this Sleevemore mountainside. Then in turn utilise and rotate the land for maximum results. Ackle is also thought to have been one of the last places in Europe to practice this type of settlement. It makes complete sense, and I often think we could have learned a thing or two about survival from our ancestors. And to think families of 10 plus lived in a small place like this, and they were doing well because they had a roof over their head. We really don't know what we're going, do we? More surprisingly, and a lesser known fact, is that this village is thought to have been built on top of other villages dating back to possibly 3000 BC because of megalithic tomb research within the vicinity. Therefore, evidence shows that this deserted housing estate could possibly be 5,000 years old. It's a strange feeling being here. It's definitely a huge air of sadness.
So it turns out I'm actually on the Atlantic Drive. It's about 30 kilometers long here on Ackle. There are a few different routes around it as well, so you don't have to do the whole thing if you fancy doing it on foot. Look at this. This reminds me of my Mountain Passes series. This is steep, folks. I wouldn't fancy going off the edge there. Actually, this is quite nice. It's quite sheltered down here now. That was wild up at the top there. I got speaking to those guys in the van, and they're from France. They asked me to take a few photographs from them for them, whatever. And lovely fellas, just old friends over here for a week. I'm literally being blown into the side. I don't know if you saw that there. I was nearly onto the grass there. Unstable cliff edge, right? Stay away from that, Dave. This is really windy. So next stop, we're going to carry on riding up this incredible road through even more incredible scenery, and we're heading out towards Keem Beach, which is where the Cottage, where Brendan Gleeson lived within the film. His character lived anyway. Brendan didn't actually live there. I'm pleased I've given myself a couple of days to see this. It is the sort of place you could travel around within a day if you were thinking of coming here. But to really savour it and take in the breathtaking views, I would recommend staying overnight and doing at least a couple of days here. Ah, yes, that's great to know. A petrol station. Given my track record, that's very, very reassuring. I was reading online before I came over, there are some seaweed baths here which you can go to and enjoy a dip. If I had a bit more time, I'd be well up for something like that. Oh God, look at that. I nearly executed the left turn and realised the slope there, and I was in the wrong gear, so thankfully I got the foot down. Now look at those cliffs over there. Ah, that's the sea cliffs I was talking about. So that's where I was. I was on top of them. Third highest in Europe. Wow. I'll carry on for a little bit before I try and get a coffee. What is that? Apart from an eyesore. Probably going to be a supermarket or something. Well, I tell you, if there's 2,600 people living on Achill Island, then a Lidl or an Aldi wouldn't go amiss, would it? Plenty of locally sourced lamb available in the meat section. Mayo flag. That's another great story. Ah, come on, I might as well tell you. We've 11 minutes of a drive. So the famous Mayo GAA team, I mean, quite often they make it to the final in the league, and they're an incredible side. And normally it's a Dublin versus Mayo all-island final. And Mayo haven't won since the old days. I'll flash up a graphic now telling you exactly when the last time they won a final was. There you go, because I just can't remember it offhand. But so the story goes that the old team, on the way home from a football match, drove through a funeral procession quite disrespectfully, from what I've sort of read. Whether they didn't stop to pay their respects, or they just kept on driving through. Anyway, the priest who was leading the funeral procession put a curse on the team as they were driving through, and the curse was that they would never win an all-island final as long as that team were alive. So of course generations moved on, and guess what? Yeah, they haven't won a single final. They've always gotten to the final, but never won the final, and many say it's because of the curse which was put on the older team. As Joe Biden, actually, when Joe Biden was over recently, that's one of the things he kept shouting in his speech when he was over here in Ballina, Mayo. Again, at this stage, if you haven't seen the precursor sort of video to tee up this little sort of tour series over on Inisherin, go and watch it, because I talk a lot about the Biden visit, which I was very privileged to be able to film. Joe Biden kept shouting in his speech, "Mayo for Sam!" Sam Maguire is the name of the cup which you win in the All-Ireland final. Yeah, he kept shouting, "Mayo for Sam!" It was bizarre to witness. Another tricolour. Still an island. Just about, because America's over there. There's a nice place to sit. Wow. Oh, look how steep we're climbing here. I hope you get the perspective on the camera, because I feel like I'm going vertical. Oh, didn't see that bump. I left the seat there. Leveling out now. Look at this, folks. I wonder how many times I've said that. I'm so sorry, but it's special, you know. Right, that car is behind me and is really annoying me. Why do people do that? Just enjoy the view as well, not the view of my number plate. What's this on the road? I'm frightened in case it's fuel or oil. Don't want to be slipping up here. Nah. It's a constant line. I'm just going to pull in here, let this car pass me. That is really annoying. Actually, I couldn't have pulled in at a better time. look at that. That is Keem Beach. What a beautiful top shot of it, isn't it? Now that's definitely in the film Banshees of Inisherin. In fact, the final... I'll switch the engine off, you might hear me a little bit better. So, the final scene of Banshees with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson on the beach. That's the beach, down there. And when we get down there, I'll show you the cottage that Brendan Gleeson, well, his character, lived in the film. Look at that. I mean, I think this is one of the most photographed beaches in Europe. You see it everywhere. In fact, it's listed in the top 20 beaches in Europe. Online, on different polls, you often see Keem Beach. Do a search for it and see yourself. Some say it's in the top 10, but I regularly see it in the top 20. Beautiful. Now imagine that on a hot summer's day. You'd want for nothing, would you? Now, I told you I'd bring you some delights, didn't I? They just keep presenting themselves. Now, I wonder how many people are down here just taking photographs of the cottage. I'd say there's a lot of people come here just to do that. Am I going the right way? Well, I'm descending, so I presume I'm heading the right way. Yeah. That's some reveal, isn't it? Ah, look. Now we're talking. And as if this wasn't good enough, it looks like there's a coffee hut over there as well. I mean, the day just keeps getting better. Right, definitely spending a wee bit of time here.
Keem Bay is a must visit if you're on Ackle. It is a blue flag beach and it's stunning for swimming and walking alike, with plenty of marked routes available. Back in the 1950s, it was home to a thriving basking shark fishery, which extracted the oil from the sharks to be used in the aerospace industry, as it's a very fine grade lubricant. Fortunately, the fishery was closed down, but still to this day, basking sharks are regular visitors to the bay, along with dolphins. Of course, this cottage is much photographed and is now becoming a huge social media sensation, as it was home to Colm Doherty in the film.
If only I could play a few clips from the film Banshees of Inisherin, just to show you exactly Brendan Gleeson leaving there and going to the pub. Great scenes, so unfortunately I can't bring you those clips because of copyright. The whole video on Inisherin for me will be taken down if I even show you one clip, so... Wow, I've had a lot of fresh air today, folks. I might end today here, head back to the hotel, get an early night and something nice to eat. So much to take in when you're away doing things like this. It's just breathtaking beauty. I thoroughly enjoy it. So yeah, I'll probably head back to the hotel now, copy over all of today's footage and do the same again tomorrow. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do give me a like as well. It all helps and goes towards me, you know, being able to afford coming away to do these videos. I got a small kickback from YouTube. Right, okay, back to the hotel. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit jaded, a bit windswept. Thanks for coming along for the ride. I really hope you enjoyed it. I've had a great day. Dave Perry, really good TV. I'm out of here.
In case you're wondering, I've been staying at the Mulroney Park Hotel on this trip. I booked direct with the hotel and got a bed and breakfast rate of €130 per night. There are many B&Bs actually on the island if you want to stay locally, but I didn't mind the 15-minute ride every morning to avail of the leisure club and the cuisine all in the one place. The restaurant offers superb quality food, with lemon sole being my choice for this evening, and of course you can reflect on the day's travels as you watch the sun go down and prepare for tomorrow.